Hi friends, and welcome back to Movie Monday, my favorite day of the week where I get to talk to y'all about movies. Woo! It is that time again. I just finished watching 3 movies that I rolled randomly 2 weeks ago, and I'm ready to pick 3 new ones that I'm going to watch in the next 2 weeks. I'm super excited. I just finished watching the last one this morning, and I'm ready to see what I'm going to be watching next. But first, I have something special. I went and saw a little movie this weekend at the Tivoli, and I wanted to talk about it. So I'm going to do a quick little review of Loving Vincent before we get back into Movie Roulette. So let's get started. Yay! So Loving Vincent is a new movie that came out this past month that is done completely in the style of Vincent van Gogh and was animated by over 100 painters, and it took I believe 6 years to make, but it is being played for limited runs at independent theaters such as in Kansas City we have the Tivoli, and I went to see it on Thursday after class. No, Wednesday. I saw it on Wednesday after work, and I just wanted to do a short little review of it because I think it deserves it. So Loving Vincent takes place about 6 months after the death of Vincent van Gogh in Europe, and it follows the investigation of Armand Roulette, who is trying to deliver a letter from Vincent van Gogh to his brother, and ends up learning about the end of Vincent's life in the small town where he was currently living. It's a beautiful movie that plays with the different conspiracies that were created around Vincent van Gogh's death. The official ruling is that he shot himself in a field when he was painting and then walked back to the place where he was staying and died 2 days later. But there is a conspiracy theory that a few boys were playing around with a gun and he accidentally got shot. The interesting part is that the main character isn't Vincent van Gogh. It's the son of Vincent van Gogh's postman from Paris who delivered all his letters. It was a really interesting point of view because a lot of people didn't like Vincent van Gogh. They thought he was crazy. But this post officer, he thought he was a really unique guy and just wanted to make sure his last letter got delivered. But his son doesn't like Vincent that much, but he learns about him through all these people that he interacted with him in his last days, and he grows to love the man. I cried at the end of the movie. I thought it was stunning. The whole time I had chills, like, all over my body. It was like from a combination of seeing my favorite artists' paintings animated on a big screen, and the score for the movie was just gorgeous, and playing behind those images, I got chills. I think the voice actors did a very good job. I think the story was very well developed since it's mostly based on fact and the letters that Vincent wrote in his lifetime. Through his investigation, you see the colorful, chunky brushstrokes of Vincent's famous paintings, and then when you look back at memories of Vincent's life, you see more like flat, almost pencil-like drawings that are still in Vincent's style, and it's a nice duality that plays back and forth. Like, you get the color, the life, and then the past, it's all in black and white. So it's a nice juxtaposition of the two things. The voice actors did a very good job. I think the main character, who is played by Douglas Booth, did a phenomenal job. He was very convincing as this character wanting to figure out what happened to Vincent. And everyone else just did a great job, and I totally commend these painters who worked hard hours for like 6 years to make this movie. It's truly an amazing feat, and I highly recommend it if you have a theater near you that is showing it, to go and see it. But now that I've reviewed Loving Vincent, I would like to get to Movie Roulette. So this week I watched Shaun of the Dead, Dragon Slayer, and You Can't Take It With You. So I'm going to run through those 3 movies really quick, and then we'll roll the dice and pick the next ones for me to watch. The first movie I watched in the past 2 weeks was Dragon Slayer. This is a movie from 1981 directed by Matthew Robbins and starring Peter MacNeil and Caitlin Clark, and it is a story about a young wizarding apprentice who is sent to kill a dragon that has been devouring the daughters of a nearby village. The movie starts out with this group of people from this village seeking out a famous necromancer to come and kill the dragon, and some complications happen that cause his apprentice to go in his place. Overall, I really enjoyed the movie. It was a bit slow paced, and at some points I felt like, is this almost over? But for the most part, I thought the story was good, and I thought the acting was well done, and the effects were really good for its time. The practical effects were very good. They did a very good job with those. It took me a while to realize that I knew the guy who plays the main character, Peter McNeil, who plays Galen, is also one of the professors in Numbers, which is a crime TV show from 2005 where the main character solves crimes through mathematics. And although I'm not into math, I am very into crime shows, so that's a very good one. So seeing him younger from the 80s in a fantasy movie about dragons was a really interesting twist for me, and I got kind of excited when I found out it was him. I would give Dragon Slayer a so good rating. That is 4 out of 5 stars. The next movie I watched was Shaun of the Dead. This is from 2004, directed by Edgar Wright and starring Simon Pegg, Kate Ashfield, and Nick Frost. It is about a man who decides to turn his morbid life around by winning back his ex-girlfriend, reconciling his relationship with his mother, and dealing with an entire community that has returned from the dead to eat the living. It is a British action horror comedy about zombies, following the main character Shaun, who has just broken up with his girlfriend, is living with his slob friend, and hasn't been talking to his mother for a while, and they end up amongst a zombie apocalypse. This is a very British humor-driven movie, and while I did enjoy it, I expected it to be funnier than it was. I guess the type of humor that they used in that movie isn't really my type of humor. I did laugh out loud once and then chuckle at a couple other things, so they did have a couple things that I recognized. Overall, I have a really strange sense of humor that's hard for people to understand, so it's not surprising that I didn't find this movie that funny. I did think it was charming. I did like the acting in it was very good. I think Simon Pegg did a really great job as Shaun. They had this cool little bit where he would be waking up in the morning and kind of stumbling around like he's a zombie, but he's not actually a zombie, so I thought that was really fascinating, and they actually made a joke about it later, and I liked that part. I thought that part was funny. So in the case of Shaun of the Dead, I would also give it a so good rating, which is 4 out of 5 stars. The final movie I watched the past 2 weeks was You Can't Take It With You. This is a movie from 1938 based off of a play by the same name. A man from a family of rich snobs becomes engaged to a woman from a good-natured but decidedly eccentric family. The movie starts out following the purchase of a 12-block empire, so a large businessman can make a factory to manufacture bullets, and then you meet this eccentric family where the grandfather is influencing men to quit their jobs if they hate them and move into his house, and these people don't really leave, and they just do everything that they want to do in life and don't do anything that they don't want to do. So the grandfather collects stamps and plays the harmonica, the mother is a playwright, the father makes fireworks in their basement, the sister wants to be a ballet dancer, the brother-in-law plays a vibraphone, and there are 2 really nice maids. They make the dinner and clean up, and then there is a man that the grandfather kinda stole away from his job in real estate crunching numbers, who makes inventions down in the basement, and then a guy who helps the father out making the fireworks. And a couple days ago, I made a movie tag where I answered the question, what is the oldest movie that you can think of that you actually enjoy? And I said something from the 70s, but I am revising my statement and saying that the oldest movie that I actually enjoyed would be You Can't Take It With You. I thought this movie was a hoot. I enjoyed it the entire time. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was charming. I loved all the characters and the acting and the story. And it is in black and white, but overall I think the movie has a really good moral, and I really enjoyed it, and I would definitely watch it again if I had the chance. I'm gonna give this a super good rating, 5 out of 5 stars, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I would totally watch it again. So I'm excited to see what I roll next, and hopefully they will be good as this selection of movies. So let's get on to that, because I'm ready to see what I'm gonna watch. So this first list of movies is a bunch of movies that have been critically acclaimed, or people everywhere have seen, or you just know the name of it even though you probably haven't seen it, and they're all movies that I haven't seen. So that's the whole point of this, is to watch movies that I haven't seen, to broaden my horizons and expand my film vocabulary. So this list is not movies that I'm necessarily excited to watch, but it's movies that I feel like I should watch. Like, it's compiled from lists of movies that you should watch before you die, or essential movies for filmmakers. So I've just separated them into like different lists to help me digest them easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick one out of this list. Alright, looks like the first movie that I'm going to be watching is In the Heat of the Night. So this next list of movies is movies that I actually really want to watch. They're either movies that I found the plot in the summary interesting, I have been meaning to watch for a long time but I haven't gotten around to them, or that I've had on my Netflix queue for a while that I just haven't been watching. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a movie from that, so I'm just using this list randomizer. The next movie I'm going to be watching is Singing in the Rain. Ooh, I'm really excited for this one. Yay! So this last list was made back in October as a way to get me to watch Halloween movies. However, most of these movies are ones that don't necessarily need to be watched in Halloween, so I'm okay with watching them anytime. This list is a lot shorter, so I'm going to get through it a lot quicker. And the final movie I'm going to be watching this week is Paranorman. I'm really excited for this. This is the only Leica movie that I haven't seen yet, and I'm probably going to borrow it from my friend Chloe to watch it. Alright, so the 3 movies I'm going to be watching this week are In the Heat of the Night, Singing in the Rain, and Paranorman. I'm really excited to watch all 3 of these movies, and I will get back to you not next week, but the week after that with what I thought of them. Next week is Thanksgiving, so I am taking a break from Movie Monday, and I have pre-recorded some stuff that I'm going to be uploading next week, so we can have some time to have family time for Thanksgiving and eat lots of food and rest from school. And then I will come back in 2 weeks with a new movie roulette for you, where I'll tell you about these movies that I watched this week, as well as roll for the final Movie Monday of the year. And then I will probably take a break from movie roulette for winter break, because it is going to be harder for me to upload and record when I am at home instead of at school, with access to lovely things like lights and microphones and good internet. So I will keep you updated on what my winter break schedule is once we get closer. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up to let me know that I'm doing a good job. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, as well as other videos I upload, please subscribe down below, as well as hit the little bell button so that you get notified every time that I upload. So until next time, I hope you have a great day, week, month, and rest of your year, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye!
we gonna understand that we are put on earth to love.